I think it will be a mighty fine one. So with that in mind, Lennis, why don't you begin? I'd like to introduce, most of you know Lennis, the CEO of Midwest Old Threshers.
Well, this is certainly a special day and a special year at Midwest Old Threshers. We have been blessed this year with a variety of projects that we've been able to complete, and we have shared in the generosity of many people and many organizations to make all these projects possible. The project here in the Log Village is certainly no exception to those projects. We're here today to dedicate the schoolhouse in the Log Village, and we want to certainly thank the generosity of Susan and James Sorensen, two people that had a dream for the future of the village. Two people that had a dream of the future of the Log Village, but also certainly an appreciation for the history of the Log Village. Their generosity and financial support and faith in this project have been exemplary, and we certainly want to thank them. The other person that I really want to thank is Dr. Bob Wielander. He's been the driving force of this project. He's done a great job. Almost somewhere between trying to steal Chris Heaton's title as the Energizer Bunny and also a little bit close to Ebenezer Scrooge when it came to spending the dollars that had been entrusted to us. So, Bob, would you please say a few words about your project?
Yes. This is the part on his agenda that says Wielander speaks. Anyway, this is a truly a great day, and it's a unique project at Old Threshers. And I say unique because Old Threshers has had many capital improvement projects over the years. It has had some projects that cost a lot more money, but we've usually hired other people to do those projects, like the roof on Museum A and B. We've had other projects at Old Threshers where the volunteers have done 100% of the work. And a good example of that is Chris Heaton and his friends that have put up the Barb Heaton Memorial Shelter this year. But this is unique because we have done both. This is going to be a final price tag in the neighborhood of $50,000 and 1,200 volunteer hours on top of that. Can you imagine what it would cost to buy 1,200 hours of contractor labor? We couldn't do it. We just couldn't. So we're very proud of this because it's been a 2-year project. It's taken a lot of planning. It's easy to walk up to a nice building and say, oh my, that looks great, and take for granted a lot of the back-breaking work and research that went into the building. And believe me, we did do the research. We just didn't put it together. We did the research to make it a very historical replica of the original half-breed tract, and we've tried very hard to stick to the details all the way through. A lot of you have done something on this building, and some of you have done a lot on this building. And at the risk of omitting someone, I'm willing to take that risk. And I'm going to name some names and ask them to come up here in front, and I want, when we get done, for you to give them a terrific hand, because basically, folks, this small group of people built this place. And many, many, many weekends we were here, and we were kind of tired of doing this after a while. And I got a little apprehensive about sending out my Log Village Carpenter Crew email, can you be here? But anyway, and these are not in any particular order, but if you're here, I definitely want you to come up and be recognized. Ed Chavel, I saw you here someplace. Pat Braw, Pat around. Bryce Krieger, Bryce is here. Dick Bell is at the Air Force Academy visiting his son, because his son just started school there. Eric Hurt, Paul Giel, Paul here. He was in Galena this weekend, I might not have made it back. Rob Nelson, Rob's here. Jacob Nelson, his son. Ike and Mike. This is our friends from the STEAM area, and how nice it is to be able to go back and forth with friends from the STEAM area. And Chris Heaton over there, who said they had to come or he's going to kick them. They were all here and all spent time. And Kylie Miller was here too, off and on. So, folks, these are the ones that really hung in there, and I'd like to have you give them a hand. almost as exciting to me, and maybe it is, I haven't decided a 1 and a 2, but something that is extremely exciting this year is the way we're going to use the other building, the town hall. And we're going to have a whole new concept in programming here at the Log Village, and this is one of the reasons that it was so important for us to have another structure here, because we needed to round out the programming here. Our mission at the Log Village, and at all of Old Threshers, but specifically at the Log Village, is to educate the visitor about life on Iowa prairie in the 1850s. The mission of Old Threshers in general is to educate the visitor about our agricultural heritage. Well, we need to go back to our roots at times, and we're going to be doing exactly that in the town hall, because we're going to have a lecture series there that Dave Brown has helped put together, and it's going to be on anything and everything that happened in the 1850s, and some of the topics that we're going to have on that, for example, are going to be the politics of a growing nation, bread making, the staff of life, tools essential to the settler, early photography, log cabin building, the role of the blacksmith, the importance of music. And next year we're going to have the circuit judge comes to town. We're going to have church services there. Well, we couldn't do this before because we didn't have a building, because the school kids were in it, and of course they had priority, as well they should. So we're really excited about a whole new concept in our programming down here at the Log Village, and it's just going to get bigger and better. So I think, Lannis, that's about all I have, and if you have a ribbon cutting thing there.
Another ooh.
Well, Bob Wielander was quoted in the Burlington Sunday paper today as saying that this area is one of the best kept secrets at Old Threshers. Certainly he may be right in many respects, but we're certainly going to see what we can do to change the reality of that. So, Jim and Susan, if you'd please come up here. You guys will lower just a little bit. So I thought it appropriate that we dedicate this Log Village School to the spirit of the Log Village, to the individuals and families who have and now populate it, to the vitality of its programming, to the enthusiasm of our volunteers, young and old, who are willing to share their knowledge, expertise, and excitement with those thousands of visitors that come to our annual Old Threshers reunion. And certainly to those who built the foundations upon which we build today. Jim and Susan, would you please cut the ribbon?
Comment that I have is that, as you know, because of the weather, we have canceled the picnic, but those of you that are here from the Log Village and are in clothing, please stick around, because we're going to have a group photo that is going to be both for the demonstration, and we may reschedule a group photo with all of our Log Village family at another time. But those who are here now in clothing, and you know what? If you're not in clothing, maybe you can stand behind somebody that is and just stick your head out, and that will be okay. We're going to do that right here in front, okay? And thank you all very much for attending.